So you're welcome everybody once again to this amazing session workshop that we're going to be having, and we're going to be discussing on some very exciting things that will help you to skyrocket your speaking career to take it to the next gear. Daniel Webster says in one of his expressions that if by chance everything is taken away from him, his talents, his powers, the only thing that he will love that should never be taken away from him should be his speaking power. Because if he has the speaking power left with him, he can get the rest of all the other powers taken away from him with his speaking power. And that tells you the importance of your communication skills. Like, if you are taking away everything that you own right now, if all your belongings, all your assets, all your wealth, like every single money you've ever worked for your life is taken away from you, what will you do if you have just your voice? Here comes the good news. Public speaking is capital, is asset, is all the income and the finances you ever need to get anything you want in your life. And that is exactly why I'm going to be sharing with you some 10 secrets. If you believe you have a voice, you have a story to share, and you need a platform, you need opportunities to speak across the world, to speak across the globe, I got good news for you. In these 10 secrets, I will walk you through the 10 secrets on how, even if you are just a starter, you're a beginner, you've never done public speaking that much, you're just beginning your career of speaking, you're even looking for opportunity to speak in your community, in your country, in your continent, here is the session. And without any waste of time, the first thing that you have to work on is your niche. You have to build a niche for yourself. Now, what is a niche? A niche is that domain of speaking that you have decided to talk on. For instance, we have teachers in secondary schools, lecturers in the universities, and then teachers in elementary schools, like in primary school. There are some teachers that are teaching some particular subject. You know, in the universities, lecturers that pick some particular subjects and they lecture on. So it's difficult and very challenging and almost impossible to see a lecturer who can lecture on all the subjects across all the departments, science, art, technology, and all of that. To be effective as a lecturer, you need to pick out one single subject that you want to pour the rest of your life into researching on and into studying to become that effective in that subject. And you agree with me that teachers that they teach one subject, they are way effective in that one lecture they give in that one subject over those who are taking multiple lectures and they end up not being effective. What that means is that as a speaker, you don't want to make people know you for so many subjects, so many things, so many ideas, but just one idea. What is that one thing you want to talk about? What is that one thing you want people to know you for? You know, I love what Myron Golden said in one of his clips, though it's not his quotes, but I actually heard this for the first time from him. You don't have to be lazy about the things you want people to take you serious for. Did you hear that? You don't have to be lazy about the things you want people to take you serious for. If you're a speaker, man, you have to choose a niche. If you are choosing a niche, choose a niche you are passionate about. What do you love to talk about? Do you love to talk about talent? Do you love to talk about studying? Do you want to talk about technology? Do you want to talk about public speaking as a trainer, as a speaker? Do you want to talk about relationship? Do you want to talk about women empowerment? Do you want to talk about technology, agriculture, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence? What do you want to talk about? You must come out with your niche. And your niche should be something that you're passionate about it to the extent that that is something you cannot do a day without thinking about, without talking about, without doing it. That's your niche. And as a speaker, if you want to shine, if you want the world to recognize your talent of speaking as soon as possible, you must pick out one single niche in one single industry and make your name known for, to the extent that they can actually exchange your name by calling that particular niche. So the challenge I have for you when it comes to this number one secret is that, what do you want to talk about? I want you to type on the chat box, what is that thing that you're so passionate about and you want to talk about it for the rest of your life? I want to see somebody typing what he loves to talk about. What is that thing? Is it relationship? Is it emotional intelligence? Is it technology? Is it emotional? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it agriculture? Is it education? Some people just want to talk about education, personal development. Amazing, Milton Benyoy. That's what I'm talking about. So you now you want to identify yourself in personal development, Milton. You want to stick to personal development. And even the next 2 years you're doing personal development. Amazing. NCD prevention and mind use. Excellent. Boniface Takwe. That's what I'm talking about. What is your niche? Let people know you only as somebody who is in that thing. You don't want people to know you for different other things, but people should know somebody like Marilyn Asson, fashion design, Milton Venue, personal development, Koma Constant. I want to talk on personal development like Milton. So confidence, you already start making friends with Milton, and Milton should start making friends with confidence because they are talking about the same niche. Belinda Andian, the power of word. I love that. How to use your power of word. Belinda, you need to organize seminars with parents like mothers and fathers to teach them how to prophesy over their children, because a lot of parents, they just open their mouth and anything that comes up, they just pour it. Skill development and inequality. Lovely. Guys' opinion. Fruit sustainable development and education. That is what I'm talking about. So you see, so far, how many of us are in this call? And 2 people already have the same industry or the same niche. And then the rest of the people, they are having different niches. And that means that if somebody comes now to Guy's opinion that is looking for somebody who can talk about NCDs and mind use, you would definitely recommend Takwe Boniface. If somebody comes to Milton that he wants a speaker who can talk about fashion industry, you would definitely want to recommend, Asoni. If somebody comes to Prosper on skill development that I'm looking for a speaker on relationship, you definitely want to recommend somebody else who is good in relationship. And that is why the founder of the National Speakers Association of America said, Dr. Robert said, the speaking industry is not a competitive industry, it's like a pie. If the pie is too big and too vast, that the more people that come into the pie, the bigger the pie becomes. The more people come in, the bigger the pie becomes. So you're not coming in as a competitor. You're not coming in to be fighting with each other. You're coming in so we can share the pie, because the pie is too big that one person cannot share it. Because you're coming in with different ideas, different concepts, different niches, different industries. And so there is no need for you to be fighting somebody who is doing personal development while you're doing fashion design. There's no need for you to be fighting somebody who is doing NCDs prevention and mind use while you are actually focusing on skill development. So you see, everybody has a room and everybody has an opportunity to speak. It means that there are going to be conferences on different teams, on different topics, where we'll be picking out people from different niches that can come on board to the platform, to the limelight, and share their ideas and share their stories. And that is the good thing about professional speaking. That's the good thing about the industry we have all found ourselves in. So the first thing out of the 10 secrets I want to be sharing with you is, do you have a niche? And I'm amazed to know that each and every one of us here, we have a niche. So there's nobody here who's confused on what should I talk about, what should I talk about, what should I talk about, what should I not talk about, because you know exactly what you want to talk about. So if there is a conference coming up, you know exactly, if you're applying as a speaker, you know exactly the thing you want to talk about. And you don't have any confusion because you apply with clarity. So the second thing that you have to do to gain your international speaking platform is this thing, is one of my favorite, is building an online presence. I want someone to someone to type on the chat box, building an online presence. I want somebody to do that on the chat box, building an online presence. Somebody to write on the chat box, building an online presence. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Building an online presence. Thank you for building an online presence. Ladies and gentlemen, people would never take you serious as a professional speaker if you call yourself a professional speaker if you don't have a strong online presence. Now, when I talk about online presence, I don't mean 10,000 followers on Facebook, 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is part of what I mean, but that is not all of what I am talking about. So what do I mean? To build an online presence, first, you must have your own website. You need to start thinking about having your own website, because serious organizations that really want to book you, they don't only go to your Facebook account or profile, LinkedIn profile, YouTube page or channel. They want to go to your website, belindaandin.com, www.chisolange.com, www.fruclotronaldo.com, www.miltonvenue.com, www.taqueboniface.com, www.confidence. That is what I'm talking about. You have to be able to have a web platform where people can see the topics you talk about. They want to see your speaking topics. They want to see what we call your 30 seconds reel. Your 30 seconds reel is a combination, it's a short clip that combines all the speaking engagement you had in the past years, and you put it in one 30 seconds video so that people can see the different stages that you pass through, and that builds your credibility. So you need to start thinking about having your own web platform, a website that is carrying the domain is your name, so that when you are advertising, when you are giving a business card to somebody, your website is there. And your email should not be something like belinda@gmail.com. No, Gmail is a general email that everybody can have a Gmail account. But you need to come out with a business card or your website in such a way that your email becomes now belinda@belinda.com. That's amazing. That's what most of the serious events out there they're looking for. And if you will check mine, you will see exactly that my email is nshom@nshomoliver.com, and I have www.nshomoliver.com. That's my professional website. You can check it out and you see what I'm talking about. There I have testimonies of clients of the past events. I have success stories of the people I've spoken in their events and trained, and you can see it there. So when they're looking for you, they will go to Google, they will type your name. When Google suggests your website, suggests your social media platform, that is when repetition starts coming in. That's when trust starts coming in. And away from the web platform, you need to own your own personal website. I think websites these days are becoming cheaper. I think with less than $100, you can have a very good website that will just have a one-page website. Is good for the start. You don't need to build a big, bogus website with so many pages. All you have to do is to build your profile, your portfolio, your name, what you talk about, a little bit of yourself, like biography, and the stages you've spoken on, with pictures to demonstrate that this is what you've done. And lastly, testimonials from clients. Video, make sure you take a lot of video testimonials because they speak louder and volumes more than the written testimonials. So when you get the video testimonial or the text, you put it there. That is so credible. And on the other flip side of the coin, you will realize that away from your website, you need to work so much on your social media presence. Now, one mistake that people do is that they put logos as their social media profile pictures. They put pictures of cakes. They put pictures of crayfish. They put pictures of manando. They put pictures of all sorts of things. That is no. That is a no zone. As a speaker, you don't want people to come and buy crayfish, buy cake, buy pictures of your cousins and your celebrities on your status. No, they don't want that. They want you. And so everybody here, as a resolution of this point number 2, if you don't have a professional headshot on your status, on your Facebook profile picture, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, please, you have to visit a professional studio, take a good headshot of yourself, and come and upload if you want business. Because people will never believe you or take you serious if, as a speaker, you are putting the picture of somebody else on your profile picture on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on X, that is the former Twitter, on whatever social media platforms. They will never ever believe you because they think that you're a clown. They think you're not serious. So what do? Make sure that you get a professional headshot on your profile and make sure that your profiles are clean. If there is any jokes you've ever been posted on your social media platform like Facebook and LinkedIn, especially Facebook, I know that I'm talking to people that love Facebook a lot, especially Facebook, please, you have to go back and clean your profile. Delete every dirty stuff you've ever posted on your profile, because this is a secret. Most of the time when you have opportunity to travel to countries like Singapore, USA, Germany, England to speak, this is what happens. Before they give you the visa, they will go through your Facebook. They will check every post you've ever done. They have machines, they have robots that will do the checking for them. Anything that does not speak about you, speaker, they will not trust you with that visa. And most people that have had visas, plus myself, because when they check our Facebook profile, they saw that consistently speaking. And again, don't accept anything somebody is tagging you on Facebook that does not connect to your speaking. This is another secret. I repeat again, do not validate tags from pictures, from videos that they are not related to your industry, to your topic, and to your niche. Because if you do that, it will ruin your reputation, it will spoil your business. When the people who want to hire you to speak, when they want to do their research, to come to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn, to your whatever platform, YouTube, they will go through all of your whatever posts you've ever done, and they will discredit you if they start seeing a lot of chunk videos, nonsense videos, kind of comedy that does not resonate with the person they believe you are. So please watch out for your profile pictures, watch out for what you accept to be posted on your timeline, and watch out for the tags that people tag you into it. Don't validate any tags that does not connect or resonate with your audience, with your niche. And again, make sure that any post you post, you should put what we call hashtags. For instance, you notice that when I post on Facebook most of the time, on LinkedIn I will do this. After, at the end of my post, at the end of what I've written to post, I will always write hashtag, public speaking, hashtag speakers coach, hashtag. Why am I doing that? Because people can just come. I had a story I've always been sharing. A lady reached out to me from New York City to coach her in public speaking because she has to deliver a talk in Yaoundé, Cameroon. And so what? She never knew me. She just went to Facebook and she was putting her hashtags. And so she came across my content, and that's how we got to be doing business together. So what am I saying? When you're posting, always put hashtags, because hashtags are very powerful, and just somebody can just type something, and because you're being consistent in your hashtag, you can now be connected to that person, and who knows, maybe you end up being a client to that person. So what I'm saying is that from today, anytime you post, for those of you who are doing personal development, when you put something on LinkedIn, on Facebook, always put a hashtag to your topics you talk about, to your industry, to your niche. Make sure that you hashtag your niche all the time you post. And that is how you can be able to generate momentum that will help you to get more clients and to attract potential clients for your future business engagement. This is a very lucrative industry at this stage where you are right now. And if you can work a little bit harder, you can outshine any other person in your community, in your country, and you will be able to make a lot of impact through public speaking. Let me just surprise you. Statistics from the National Speakers Bureau in the USA stipulates that from 2020 to 2030, there's going to be an increase of 9% increase in the speakers and authors, including public speakers industry. It means that there are going to be more people in the corporate inviting speakers to come and train in their companies and organizations, and at the same time, the same thing will be happening in the educational setups. It means that many universities, many high schools, they will open up their doors. Many companies, many institutions, including religious institutions, will open up their doors to be able to get you as a speaker to come and train, to come and speak. What that means is that if you don't tighten your belt or your seat belt right now very strongly, by the time they're looking for you, they will not get you, but you are qualified, you're talented, because you're not showing up on online. So it's a challenge for you to set up and start showing up and begin to be serious online when you do your post, and make sure that the pictures are using good pictures. Make sure that your content you're putting, we have a lot of tools that can help you to clean your content. We have tools like ChatGPT to help you to polish up your content. We have tools like you can use to actually screenshot and check your grammar. We have Grammarly. Grammarly can help you to check your past tenses and present tenses and future continuous tenses, and make sure that what you are saying makes a lot of sense. Because if you put with errors, you write with errors, people will not respect your work. So make sure that you work with some tools, artificial intelligence tools, that can help you to screen, to edit, to proofread your work before you post. Because you know what? You never know who is going to pass across your post. You never know who is going to read your post, because online is not for you, and you don't have no power to control online. So as you post it there, so many years ago, it will still be there, and somebody can who wants to give you $1 billion could just pass by. You know what? And just read that post, and that's how the conversation will begin. But if you do not take time to polish it well, man, you will lose a lot. People like Christelle here, they're doing amazing work. They are into that. Milton has been speaking in primary schools and in Bamenda, in Cameroon, and that's exactly the kind of things I'm talking about. So you have to see how you polish up your online presence. Be consistent in posting. If you're on YouTube, if you're posting every two times per week, do it consistently. If you once times per week, do it consistently, because the algorithms are built in such a way that if you're consistent, that's how they can recommend now your videos, your posts to others. Like what Confidence is doing on TikTok. So if you miss any single week, it can affect the way people will perceive you, the way you grow your channel. Like what Boniface is doing on YouTube. If you miss a single week, Bonnie, you can affect your result. And if you consistently post at a particular time, at a particular date, boom, in the less than 3 months, you will start seeing a lot of amazing results happening in your speaking career. And who knows, you will start having people inviting you because they watch your videos. And when you're recording your videos, please give in your best shot. Every video should be nailed. Every video should be a hit video. Every video should be that killer video that everybody who watches will be like, wow, this is amazing. This guy is good. This lady is good. So don't record videos hoping that you'll do best in the next video. Just giving your best shot for the next video. And when you start doing that, I bet you your online presence is going to be highly boosted. And before you notice, you start having followers and subscribers that are following you from all around the world. And so the third thing you have to leverage on is leverage on your networking, ladies and gentlemen. You know, somebody says that we connect to collect. Can you type that on the chat box, please? I'm on number 3. I'm talking about leveraging on your networking. So I'm saying that somebody once said, we connect to collect. Thank you, Marilyn Asoni. We connect to collect. Awesome. And it's both ways. We actually connect to collect. So what are you doing with thank you for Claude. What are you doing with your networking? Dempsey Raymond, amazing leader. Thank you. We connect to collect. So make sure that you work on your networks. Okay? So when you go to meetings, you have to be sensitive. Learn how to connect with people on phones, to connect with people on different platforms, on online, on Facebook, on Instagram. Learn how to connect with people all around the world. There are a lot of platforms. We have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform to connect with people, right? Look for the top speakers in your continent, in your country. Go to LinkedIn, connect with all of them. Because when you connect with all of them, you keep posting and watching their timeline as they're posting. If there's something that connects with you comment. Those guys will notice you, and they will sooner they can reach out to you. And if you reach out to them for whatever thing, they'll be able to listen to you. So you have to connect with them, consistently support their works, and behold, by the time you reach out for them for collaboration, they'll be open up because they have constantly seen your comment, they have constantly seen what you've been doing, and they would love to connect with such people. So if you want to connect with some of these influencers, guys, you don't just reach out, you want to connect. Make sure that you follow them for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 1 month, for 3 months. Support, comment, do share, then you go connect with them. And when you do that, they will probably accept you. And whatever you're giving as a collaboration, as a proposal, they will definitely love to welcome you, and you do that together with them. So that's the strategy. So network. So when you first network with somebody, please don't just be asking for help, for support. First, build a rapport, build a good relationship with that person. And then when that relationship is built, I bet you there is no way you can ever lose in that relationship. When you have a good relationship with your network, there's no way you can ever lose. It will help you now to benefit from each other. As the person is benefiting from you, you are also benefiting from the person. And that is the mutual relationship that will encourage and support and enhance each other's businesses or niches or whatever industry you are into it. So remember, as you network, remember we network to collect. And so you can never collect while you have not networked. But before you collect, you must be able to add value. Because if you don't add value, you will never collect. And so how do you add value? Ask yourself, what can I offer this person? What value can I add to this person's life in this my network? You know what? Like Charlotte Campbell said, one of my mentors in South Africa, he said, one of the easiest things to do, right, to connect with these top influencers is this. And I have a testimony for this. When you listen to their talks, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, write a great recommendations for them, write a great review for them, and then send them the review and say, hey, I got this review for you. Go through it. If it's okay, share me the link so I can post. You know, everybody loves that. So for instance, in our last National Speakers Association meetings in Minnesota, the speaker that actually came and trained us was Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis is a professor, is a doctor. She's that kind of speaker that she's paid $25,000 per 45 minutes talk. She's a top speaker in the US, and she was mentored by Les Brown, and she's really good. So she trained us, and so after the meeting, you know, I did a review for her on LinkedIn, a recommendation for her on LinkedIn. So she's very busy. So I sent her the recommendation, and after 1.5 weeks, you know what she did? She reached out to me on LinkedIn and she told me that, wow, Oliver, thank you so much. This kind of recommendation, I've not had it for the past months. And this is the first time I'm having this kind of a powerful recommendation from a client. Please, will you mind if I post this recommendation on my website? You're like, wow, could you hear that? Dr. David is suggesting to me that if I will mind, or if I will not mind, if you go and write my recommendation on her website. That is a 6-figure speaker, man. 6-figure speaker means that she is paid 6 figures. That is millions. She's paid in millions. That's the meaning of 6-figure speaker. And so she's telling me that, will I mind that she loved my recommendation I did for her so much that she wants to go and post it on her website? So she's not only satisfied that it is on her LinkedIn profile for other clients of hers come and see it, and that adds her credibility. She wants to do it on her website. And guess what? When it will be posted on her website, she will add my picture to there, and she will add my name and what I do. And that is marketing for me. Now, when her clients come to see her work, they want to find out who is Oliver Nshom, who is this guy, and that is I do not go to her to be asking her to bless me. No, I was asking, how can I add value to this woman? She's so good. There's nothing I can give her that she will really feel like this is special. But I was like, okay, since you trained me and you're really good, I'm gonna give you a recommendation on LinkedIn. And boom, from the recommendation she accepted to put, and she gave me her email, and I sent it to her. And behold, the web developers are working to post that on her website. That's what I'm talking about. So look for those people that you want to speak and share platform with them wherever around the world, and then go through one of their trainings. Please don't pretend, don't fake it. Go through their courses, go through their YouTube videos, go through a training and listen and learn something from them. Then use that experience to write a recommendation for them on LinkedIn especially, and I bet you they will ever be grateful for that. And you never know, that can take you places that you never thought about. Number 4, I don't want to overdwell on that point. Use speaking platforms. Speaking platform, there are a lot of speaking platforms, and congratulations to everybody in this call. If you are in this call today, you are already fulfilling that number 4, because you are in the speaking platform, which is the Cameroon National Speakers Association. So why should you be in the speaking platform? Because there you can grow faster. You can see people who have the kind of thoughts, the ideas, the networks, the niches, the industries, mindset that you have, and then you can co-grow together with them. When you're growing together with them, it is faster to grow, it is faster to understand certain concepts than growing alone. Like it is often said, if you work together, you go far, right? But if you work alone, you go faster. So do you want to go far, or you want to go faster? If I was you, I'm gonna go far. And for you to go far, the secret is working with other people. Thank you. So the 5th point is offer value to event organizers. So when you hear that, for instance, when you hear that there's an event in public speaking coming up in Rwanda, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in the US, in Germany, in France, wherever, you want to see, is this something I love to talk about? If you want to talk in that event in the nearest future, you're asking, what value can I offer this event organizer? Maybe you want to volunteer and market the event. Maybe you want to volunteer in any way as an assistant or whatever. You want to volunteer. Point number 5 is offer value to event organizers. Offer value to event organizer. That's the point number 5, my dear. So you want to see how can you volunteer? Like I used to say, anytime a public speaker is organizing a workshop that in your city, for instance, Raymond is in Douala. So if I want to organize a public speaking workshop in Douala, okay, if Raymond really want to add value to that workshop, Raymond could also volunteer as one of the people in the workshop to set up the hall, to put the chairs together, to do this, to do that, to do whatever thing it takes to make the event successful. Now, in the course of the workshop, Raymond would tell me that, hey, Oliver, I love to talk about these things you're talking about, okay? Can you give me 2 minutes? Okay, I'm like, okay, Raymond is a volunteer, he's doing great, I'm watching his videos, and it's really amazing and remarkable. Okay, Raymond, today I'll give you 2 minutes, and then from the 2 minutes, we'll see what we can do. Okay, Raymond has volunteered, and then in the course of that, I've only asked Raymond to introduce himself. Raymond has not spoken, but because Raymond has introduced himself to hundreds of people who were there, they are known Raymond. That they are known Raymond not as Raymond, but as Raymond who is a speaker, who is an MC. You see? But if Raymond did not offer value to the event organizer, which is the team, maybe the team of Texas, he will never be known by those people. So if he stayed at home, to be there and hoping that one day somebody will just come and hire him to come and speak, it's a lie. It's a lie. It might never happen. It might happen, it might not happen. But because Raymond is showing up, volunteering, doing stuff, moving up and down, people will recognize, they will connect with him, they will know him. Before they notice, Raymond will be the next speaker in that very event. Before they notice, Raymond, through that platform, he'll be speaking in different countries around the world. And that is it. It was because Raymond was able to offer some value. Raymond was able to offer some value. And the fact that he offered value, probably he did not even pay for the event. He did not pay for it. Why? Because he offered value. So you see, volunteering is powerful, ladies and gentlemen. When you volunteer, you learn a lot that you could not even pay with money. There are some people that you can never get to them directly. Even if you pay, you will not get access to them. But when you volunteer, you can get to them at any time you want to get to them because of volunteerism. So take note of volunteerism and learn to offer some value. Be open on virtual speaking. Okay, that's point number 6. Be open on virtual speaking. That's so powerful, and I love this point. This is actually one of my biggest breakthroughs in life. I had my first ever international speaking engagement event where I had to travel out of Cameroon and speak out of Africa, was because of a virtual speaking gig I did. So I volunteer with the International Virtual Speakers Association, which some of you know that. And they gave me a 30-minute talk. They asked me to come and train the speakers all around the world for 30 minutes. And I accepted the offer. So I came in, I prepared my PowerPoint, I prepared my presentation, and boom, I did all the things I did. I rehearsed, and you know what? When I came to train, I did a great job. Energy was there, enthusiasm was there, the facts were there. And after my talk, I received a call from Singapore. And the lady told me that they listened to my presentation that just ended, and they would love me to come and do a similar presentation in Asia. That's how I got my breakthrough. And imagine that if I did not accept that virtual presentation I had to do, and I was only looking for physical and in-person presentation, I'm sure I might never have them. That's why opportunities will always come in overalls, looking very difficult, looking very challenging. But if you embrace those opportunities, despite the difficult nature they present to you or project to you, you get success. You get the other side you get to the other side. But if you keep on saying that this is difficult, no, I cannot do that for free, how? No, I can't do that. I bet you will never get what you want. So learn to see the difficulties and opportunities and embrace the difficulties, and that's when your breakthrough will always happen. So embrace virtual presentation. Anywhere you have to speak, if you have an opportunity, speak. Virtually or not virtually, speak as much as possible. I'm going to be receiving questions as I do the presentation. So if you have a question, please go ahead and ask. Estelle, you have a question. Estelle is one of the speakers at the national speakers, and she's very passionate about education. Over to you, Estelle. You have a question? Okay. So, practice cultural sensitivity. Okay, we're on number 7. Practice cultural sensitivity. I love that. I love that. What is cultural sensitivity? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in Cameroon right now, for instance, and you've never spoken out of Cameroon, I'm sorry to say that you're in trouble. You need to work hard. You need to work hard. If not, you will only get out there and spoil your reputation, disgrace yourself, disgrace your family, disgrace your community, disgrace your city, disgrace your country as Cameroon, disgrace West Africa. You get? So, if you've never spoken out of Cameroon or out of Africa, man, you have to start working hard right now. If you desire to speak in different countries, you have to start working right now. Now, what do I mean by that? If you leave Cameroon to speak in Rwanda, if you arrive Rwanda or Kigali, and you don't know a word in Kenya, Rwanda, and you don't know how to say good morning, you don't know the culture of Rwanda, you have to learn by force to know something about the Rwandan people. Because if you don't know, you mess up. You mess up yourself. Right. So if you live here to speak in Asia, you don't know the culture about Malaysia or Singapore, you have to learn something. If you live here, you want to speak in the US, you live Cameroon, you want to speak in the US, and you don't know about the culture of the American, you have to learn something. For instance, in America, the moment you are giving the date to somebody and you say today is the 4th of November 2024, you mess up. They already mentally they have exited from whatever you're saying. You could imagine that. Yes, because in America, the date begins with the month, then the day, then the year. So you rather say November 4th, 2024. You don't say 4th of November 2024. Now, if you live Cameroon, if you live the US and you're going to speak in Cameroon, and you don't know the culture of Cameroon, that the date in Cameroon begins with the day, the month before the year, you mess up. Right, you mess up. And again, things keep changing, the time zones keep changing. For instance, just today, we almost missed out this meeting because the time before here, the time 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, before used to be 7 p.m. West African time. But out of a sudden, the time zone has changed. Now, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time now is now, what time? I think it's now 7 p.m. right? It used to be 1 p.m. here used to be 7 p.m. right? So 12 p.m. Noon here, p.m. here used to be 6 p.m. But I'm surprised that the things have changed. So you have to constantly study study ahead of time to be sure that the time you set up meetings is synchronizing with the different time zones around the world, because you'll be speaking to people from different countries and different continents. So you have to have that at the back of your mind. What are the living standards in the US? What is the situation in Germany, in France? What is the situation in Israel? What is the situation in South Africa, in Kenya, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Cameroon? So you need to be abreast with what is happening in terms of little cultural sensitivities, because if you mess up, some people will do what they call mental exit. Now, what is that? To mentally exit from your talk means that you have annoyed your audience. What you're saying, they don't care. It's a little bit like if you ask to talk for 5 minutes, you talk for 7 minutes. After the first second of 5 minutes, what happens? Your audience are mentally exit. They have mentally exited from your talk. Whatever you're saying it on your own. They are no more with you. They're just waiting for you to finish out of respect for the other audience before they leave. Some people can start walking out of the room if you delay. They are mentally exit. So what happens is that as a speaker, if you're speaking in any country, be careful to disrespect the audience by saying things that they don't say them in the way they are saying them. Maybe you don't take your culture, you're going to improve and you're going to improvise, upon a different people's culture. You have to be careful. You have to take time and read cross-cultural, multicultural books that can help you to understand different cultures, how they operate, how they do things. That's so important. So please, if for those who want to speak internationally or globally, please start working on the culture. Any country you want to go speak on, make sure you do research. Go to YouTube, study videos on how the culture is being validated or not. If not, it can spoil more chances to you than being enabling breaches for you. You have to be able to collaborate with influencers. So number 8, collaborate with who? Influencers. That's so powerful. Now, you can collaborate with influencers in the speaking industry or out of the speaking industry. For instance, imagine that if you're connected to some influencers on Facebook, on LinkedIn, what happens is that anytime you have an event, you could pay them little or no money or just a token, and behold, they can be able to share your event. They can be able to shoot out your message. They can be able to make some recommendations, reviews, and some quick videos about your event. And who knows, people can get to know you through those people. So in your organization where you work, do you have some influencers in your organization? Right. For instance, Mr. Bonnie or Dr. Bonnie is working the CBC Health Services. So imagine that the director of CBC Health Services, Mr. Ngum, wants to just stand in a staff meeting and recommend Mr. Boniface as a great public speaker who can train other staff to speak better. Now, that is a lot of endorsement. That's a lot of success for Boniface, because many people believed his abilities or his talent as a speaker because the director of the CBC Health Services has recommended him. That's the power of connecting with influencers. How do you do that? You have to figure out how can you build such relationships. And again, you can only build such relationships on the table of value, the value you are able to offer to them for free, not in exchange of anything. You just have to serve and see how you can build up support and help to what they're doing. And who knows, one day they could just recommend you, and that's how you just blow out. And so, seek feedback and improve. Okay, that's seek feedback and improve. Somebody says feedback is the breakfast of champions. I'm talking about point number 9 now. Seek feedback, and improve. Somebody says feedback is the breakfast of champions, and I totally agree with that person. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to your notice once again, there is absolutely no way you can succeed in this speaking industry if you ignore feedback. Some people, they don't like negative feedback. And if that is you, I'm sorry for you. If you're that kind of person that when somebody tells you that you have to improve on this, improve on that, you're angry, you're not happy with the person, I am sorry, I'm very, very sorry for you. Please, you have to improve. Because feedback is the only breakfast of champion. If you want to become a top speaker, an eloquent speaker, please, you have to learn to embrace feedback, accept it, and work on it. Because it's gonna really help you. You don't have to joke with feedback. Because feedback is truly the breakfast of champion. So feedback is so important. Feedback is so important. So what am I saying? You have to embrace feedback and work so hard on it, because it would literally change everything about you. So when people give you feedback, accept it and make sure you do something about it. And lastly, stay persistent and practical. What do I mean to stay persistent and practical? You have to stay persistent and practical because as a speaker, becoming an international speaker is not going to be in 2 months, in 3 months, in 1 year, and all of that. It's going to take time. So the moment you stop doing it, the moment you stop losing the grips, losing momentum. And if you want to continually do it, you have to be consistent and you have to constantly provide value, help people show up. Do everything to show up and never you stop showing up. And so, if you have been planning to move your speaking from national or from regional to national or from national to international or from international to global, those are some practical steps that if you can take action upon them, I bet you in less than no time, you will call yourself an international speaker and life will never ever remain the same. And that's how I draw the curtains of this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for showing your attention. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the top. If you have questions and answers, I'll be glad to answer those so I can answer. Thanks.